Greetings of peace and love, everyone. I am Djehuty Ma'at-Ra, and I am back for another video for this account, a video on the subject of health, which is what most videos here will be about for purposes of playing it safe. I am cleaning my anti-blue light glasses that figure in prominently for my subject matter I'm going to be discussing in this particular video. But yeah, most of the videos here will be about health, diet, nutrition, well-being, all under the umbrella of health. And again, it's to play it safe. So much has changed with social media in general and this particular platform in particular since the last time I was here and very active. I used to be very active on this platform. At any rate, we're going to get off into things. A sip on my crystal charged water. Amethyst and rose quartz are the stones in that water, charging that particular water. And of course, I can make a video about that in the future. Okay, let's get into it. This particular video, it is the result of an inquiry I got here about ocular health or eye health, which is always a great topic to talk about. So much goes on with eyesight, especially here in the Western world. And so many people suffer with adverse ocular conditions, glaucoma, conjunctivitis, you name it. There's a plethora of diseases and disorders surrounding the eyes. Here in the Western world, in general, the United States of America in particular. And I'm going to get off into some things that you can do to protect your eyesight, but I'm also going to get off into some things that harm eyesight and potentially harm eyesight. Now, first, now I do know that it looks like I'm wearing, eyeglasses or prescription eyeglasses. And I have never in my life worn prescription eyeglasses. I've just never had a need to wear them. And for me, being very analytical, the name alone, prescription eyeglasses, but the prescription part, that part alone plays a major role in why I would never wear prescription eyeglasses. They're prescribed by a doctor, an optometrist. You need a prescription. And when I hear prescription, I think in terms of drugs. Prescription drugs. These are drugs that have to be prescribed. And usually people get addicted. They become dependent. They become handicapped on prescription medication, prescription drugs, if you will. And so when I think about prescription eyeglasses, I can't help but to think about the dependence that they cause. Now, don't get it wrong. I'm not telling anybody to stop wearing your prescription eyeglasses. This is Djehuty Ma'at-Ra, just talking, just sharing my thoughts, sharing my views, sharing my opinion. That's it. But prescription eyeglasses is a red flag for myself personally, because prescription and then dependence. And I'm the type of person, I don't like to be dependent on anything or anyone. Don't want to. Just not my way. I don't get down like that. I like my independence. Independence is a synonym for freedom. When you're independent, you're free. You're free to do the things that you desire to do. And dependence is the opposite of that. The dependence it invokes slavery. You're dependent on somebody else for something. And I would never want to be dependent on a device, a tool or a gadget for something I was born to do, that I was born doing, that I was born with functioning properly. I would never want to, lose faculty and be dependent on something that is man-made, especially something that is adverse, detrimental. I wouldn't want that. Now, this particular tool is called Pinhole Reader. Pinhole Reader. And they are pretty much like glasses, but I have to bring those up higher. They have holes in them. And when you're wearing these glasses and you're looking through the little holes, what's going on is you are strengthening the muscles of the eyes. You are strengthening the muscles of the eyes. Those muscles are called ciliary muscles. And that's how you strengthen and or improve eyesight. I'm going to be switching back and forth because that's my thing nowadays when making the videos to protect the eyesight. I don't care if my video is 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. I'm here for the information and not how I look. We want to see your eyes and what you're reptilian and you're trying to hide your eyes and get out of here with all that nonsense. No, I'm all about health, man. I'm all about health. Chronologically speaking, I'm 52 and I feel better than I did when I was 25. I mean, life is grand. I have all my faculties and I can still run. I can play basketball. I can chase my children and catch them. Life is awesome. Life is awesome. And I feel for a lot of people, my age, younger, or even older, who just fell for the okie doke of the Matrix and went the way of the Matrix and trusted certain so-called bodies and authorities and ended up experiencing certain things that they were programmed to experience because of, so-called aging, I feel for those people, but it's, free will is involved and people use their free will to trust the trusted authorities of the Matrix, and they came up with a detriment. They came up with a detriment. I know a lot of people who wear prescription eyeglasses and have been wearing them for years, some for decades, and it never dawns on these people to question themselves. I had an eye problem when I was a child, a teenager, in my early 20s or what have you. I've been wearing prescription eyeglasses for the last 10, 15, 20 or whatever amount of years, and my eyesight hasn't improved. As a matter of fact, I've gone through 3, 4, 5 pairs of stronger prescription eyeglasses. Now, when you understand this whole prescription eyeglass, for lack of a better word, scheme, I could say con, but for this scheme, this medical scheme, it's like with drugs. You're on the drugs for the rest of your life, and it's just guaranteed income. It's just guaranteed income from some institution, hospital, medical center, optometrist, office, what have you. It's guaranteed income. You will always be dependent on what somebody else or some institution has created and or sells. Prescription eyeglasses are no different. This is why you hear people talk about needing a stronger pair of prescription eyeglasses. because the current ones no longer get the job done. And as I explained earlier, our eyes have muscles called ciliary muscles. And when you wear prescription eyeglasses, the eyeglasses do the work of those muscles, so those muscles get weak. They atrophy. They atrophy. So you become dependent upon the prescription eyeglasses to magnify in order to see clearly. And that weakens the natural function of the eyes in general, the ciliary muscles in particular. Now, the pinhole readers help to strengthen the ciliary muscles. This is why these little gadgets, this tool here, little gadget, costs anywhere between $20 and $40. It all depends on who you purchase from. They get the job done. And all you have to do is use them for a good 30 minutes max per day. Pick a good book and read for 30 minutes wearing these. I'm not one who advocates television watching, but you could watch television for 30 minutes and wear these pinhole readers. Part of a daily exercise so that you can regain your eyesight, that optimal eyesight. Now, I like these bad boys here, man, the anti-blue glasses. You can get these online. These run you anywhere from $10 to $30. Again, it depends on who you are purchasing from. I think I got these. These were probably about $15, $16, $17. And these are my favorite because they do come off as looking like prescription glasses or just, regular, glasses. And it's a different look for me, I like it. It's new for me, I like new things, being different, the same but different. So I know this is a different look for me here in this video. But again, it's for health purposes. I know what the screens do. I know what all of the screens of the digital devices do, to human health, not just the eyes, but human health. I mean, so many people can't even sleep at night because of the digital devices. They throw off your hormones. They throw off your serotonin. They throw off your melatonin. The body just gets out of whack, and most people are just not knowing. Most people are innocently just not knowing. And I think one of well, I don't think I know one of the gravest things that a person can do is use an electronic or digital device before bedtime. There needs to be a particular time you get off the devices. And in this case, it's for purposes of sleep, because these devices do play a role in the sleeping disorders that many Americans suffer from. But I guess that too is another video. This video here is on eye health. So let me get off into some things that you can do for eye health. Now, you know about the anti-blue glasses. You know about the pinhole readers. Let's get off into some other tools. Now, when we think of a light bulb, we're not necessarily thinking about a tool, but because we are dealing with ocular health, there is a particular light bulb that serves as a tool. And this particular light bulb is called full spectrum light bulb. It's full spectrum. What that means is that it contains all 7 spectrum of light. There's 7 spectrum of light. Just think of the rainbow or prism or the 7 chakras. Those are the colors of full spectrum light. They're the colors of the chakras. They're the color of a prism. They're the color of a rainbow. 7 colors. Full spectrum. Now, when you deal with your regular light bulbs, the white bulbs, those are only 2 spectrum. White light, yellow light. Without the other 5, that light is imbalanced. That is imbalanced light. Imbalance. Dis-ease. that means your eyes will be dis-ease, not at ease. There's a strain put on the eyes from those type of light bulbs, the white bulbs, the two spectrum bulbs. And when you turn the light on and the light comes on, your eyes adversely responds to it. You lose visual purple every time light comes on. When you come out of a darkness into light, especially man-made light, not good, people. It is insalubrious. And I get it. I get it. People have been doing this for years, for decades, and they never knew. This is why so many people wear eyeglasses. I'm shocked when I see young people wearing eyeglasses. Children, you just got here. You just got here. And you're already wearing glasses, protective glasses? What happened? Host of reasons. You know, shampoos and conditioners containing sodium lauryl sulfate gets in the eyes, destroy the eyes. Devices, television, two spectrum lights. Little human beings just got here and eyes are adversely impacted. This matrix is no joke. I have a lot of videos to record and share. A lot. Because you can't make it in this matrix. I'm tweeting, every week, sometimes several days a week, on how life is beautiful, how life is magical, how I'm so optimistic and in love with life. And people, I'll tell you, it's health. It's health, man. I mean, health, I would have to say, is the ultimate wealth. Health is the ultimate wealth, man. I mean, just feeling good, going to bed every night feeling good, rising every morning or ante-meridium feeling good. A lot of people can't say that. Health is the ultimate wealth. So full spectrum light bulbs, you want to write that down under your list of tools: anti-blue glasses, pinhole readers, full spectrum light bulbs. Now, I do have to give notice that these things are on the expensive side for the average person. Because one bulb is going to run you anywhere from $10 to $15. The price of these bulbs have increased because of the hidden tax called inflation. Back in the day, you could get them for anywhere between $6 to $8 per bulb. Now it's $10 to $15. Mine's generally cost about $12, $13. And I know a lot of people, are responding to hearing me say $12, $13, $15 for one light bulb, but it's not a regular bulb, and it's for your health. It is for your health, and in the long run, it's cheaper than prescription eyeglasses, and actually better. I mean, how can prescription eyeglasses be better than your natural eyesight that the Creator endowed upon us? How? And again, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad that wears prescription eyeglasses. Hey, stuff happens. I get it. I'm just giving the information. I don't want anybody to feel bad or guilty and take off their prescription glasses and throw them away. No. Next thing you know, somebody throw their glasses away and jump behind the wheel and think they can drive without their prescription eyeglasses and injure somebody or their property. Then put the blame on me. That damn Djehuty. I was listening to Djehuty. Djehuty said, I didn't need prescription eyeglasses. I was getting dependent on them. I didn't want to be dependent. He was right. I didn't want to be dependent. I was born with eyesight, and I should be leaving here with my eyesight that I was born with. Nah, partner, you did some things and messed your eyes up. And so you're going to have to wear your ocular crutches, man. And that's for your own good and for the good and safety of other people. And this is not to say that you can't come back. because I've seen it. I have the testimonials of people who they just work the pinhole readers, and in a month and a half, 2 months, boom, 50% improvement. Some people got their eyesight back totally. I have those testimonials. And I declare by pinhole readers. They work. If you work them, they work. They work. Now, dealing with plants, herbs, food. Herbs are food. Plants are food, most of them. When we deal with food sources of therapy, medicine, and pertaining to the eyes, the first thing that comes to mind for me is blueberries. Blueberries, the fruit called blueberries. Blueberries will do wonders for your eyes. I remember my cousin Dennis was doing a personal experiment on himself with blueberries. And I remember he came over one day. This was after 1 weekend of just overdosing on blueberries. And the whites of his eyes were so white. Blueberries are one of the best things to do to whiten the white of your eyes. And the white of the eyes, over time, change colors. Red, which is not a good sign. Brown, which is not a good sign. Yellow, which is not a good sign. All of these colors denote certain things. It's not called the red of the eyes or the brown of the eyes or the yellow of the eyes. It's called the white of the eyes, and for a reason. They should be white. So blueberry, the fruit, consumed daily, a cup will suffice. A cup of blueberries per day will suffice. But also blueberry juice. And organic if you can afford it. Knudsen and Lakewood, they are very good brands of blueberry juice. This is commercial, though. This is blueberry juice that is commercial. Now, commercial is going to take a backseat to freshly squeezed, which means that you're purchasing the blueberries and you're doing the juicing. And I know juicing can become a hassle. That's a whole different type of daily chore there. I get it why so many people don't juice. The effort, that goes into it, especially cleaning up. The cleanup effort is, I get it. So, if that's not your thing, you don't have the time, you probably just don't want to do it. Go ahead and opt for blueberry juice, bottled blueberry juice. Do your best to make sure that it is organic and not, some cheap, crappy version on the market. I can only co-sign on Knudsen and Lakewood. And again, I do my best to give people a heads up so people don't go to the health food store and get shocked at the prices. Knudsen and Lakewood brands of juices, bottled juices, cost a pretty penny. Organic blueberry juice by Knudsen and Lakewood is going to run you $8 to $13. It all depends on where you purchase from, but one bottle is up there. Now, for me, is health. I'm paying health, taking care of my health this way, preventive in nature, is far cheaper than medical insurance and going to the hospital and surgeries and prescription drugs, and damn sure a lot cheaper than a damn funeral. Damn sure cheaper than that. And I tell people, if they think health is expensive, try ignorance, try sickness and disease, try a combination of those. That's what costs. So I don't have a problem, spending a pretty penny on health gadgets, things for my health that's going to keep me in an optimal health, maximum health, regardless of age. when we're dealing with optimal health, regardless of age, I mean, our faculties should be working. All five senses should be working. You know, as men, you know, our genitalia should be working. You know, we should still be experiencing, penile tumescence, waking up with the boner, if you will, you know, which is a sign of good circulation. That's not supposed to stop. You know, we can relate to it in our teen years and 20s, but it's not supposed to stop. And, you know, we're supposed to rise each morning erect. You know, our Lingham is supposed to rise when we rise. Actually, before we rise. That's natural. It's not supposed to stop. If it stopped, then that's a sign that, you know, something is wrong. Again, you know, health is the ultimate wealth. It is. Health is the ultimate wealth, man. It's nothing like feeling good just on the strength. And I tweet often that it feels good to feel good. And it does. I mean, it really does. Like now, like I feel so freaking good. You know, I've been away from this platform for about a good 10 years. And one of the comments I get, you know, that's pretty consistent is, man, Djehuty, after all these years, man, you still look the same, man. You know, you still look good. You know, I guess people thought I would, I don't know, prematurely age or, you know, go the path that most people would have you. No, I'm real with this, and I've been real from day one. You know, I'm a radical. I'm a trooper. You know, when I believe in something, when I know something is good, man, I rock with it, man. You know, I've seen the examples, you know, starting with my beloved parents and, you know, family members, hell, even siblings, cousins, childhood friends. I've seen it, and that's why I've stayed in myself. You know, I'm unable and unwilling to deal with it. You know, I'm the same age as people, a little older than people, a little younger than people, and for a lot of them, it looks like a difference of 20, 30, 40 years, and that disturbs me. I don't feel good about that. So I keep to myself. I mean, and for those of you who are familiar with me, you guys know how I get down. You know, I 86 people. You know, all I need is myself, my angels, Creator, and I'm good. You know, and every now and then there are some human beings that, you know, I can kick it with, you know, on the same vibration, good energy, not just taking and draining me. You know, I appreciate those people. Not a lot of them, but there's a few. And, you know, periodically we get together, have lunch, dinner, you know, phone calls, and that works for me. You know, that works for me. But again, people, health is wealth. Yeah, health is wealth. You got to take care of your health. You don't want to lose your health in pursuit of wealth. And then when you get to wealth, you lose that in pursuit of health. You start out with the health, just take care of it. Moving on, we got blueberries and blueberry juice. Now, there's also powdered or freeze-dried blueberries. And now, when you do it freeze-dried, which is a powder, it's a little different than powdered blueberry fruit. And then also, there is the juice. They're selling juices now. There's freeze-dried fruit or grasses, and it's the juice. They tell you it's the juice. Like there's wheat grass, and then there's wheat grass juice. And it went through a process and is dried. So it's not dried wheat grass, it's dried wheat grass juice. Big difference. Big difference. And you're going to have more nutrition from the actual dried fruit compared to the juice. So you want to be mindful of that. Blueberry powder, blueberry juice powder. Big difference. Next up is bilberry. Bilberry fruit, bilberry leaf. Bilberry is a cousin to blueberry. Bilberry is a cousin to blueberry. There are bilberry, excuse me, there are bilberry fruit, and there is bilberry leaf. There's also a blueberry leaf. So you have blueberries, the fruit, you have the leaf, you have the juice in powdered form, freeze dried. Then you have the cousin bilberry, which is a fruit. Bilberry is a fruit. Then you have bilberry leaf, which you can powder, put in a capsule, or cut and sift it as a tea. And then there is bilberry fruit juice. And you already know the difference. Rock with the actual fruit, the powdered fruit, versus the juice. Now, if only the juice, the powdered juice is available, you rock with that. And that's if you can't get your hand on the actual fruit. The actual fruit is always going to be best. Hands down. Always going to be best. So bilberry, blueberry. Next up, we have carrot. Yes, the controversial carrot. If you don't get down with carrots, cool. Just nix them from your list. I'm just giving information, giving names of various plants, various herbs, medicinal herbs. That's all I'm doing. So if you don't rock with it, if you're a Sabiite and you're anti-carrots, just don't rock with them. Some people are going to have easier access to carrots than bilberries. So if you can't get your hands on A, B, C, D, and you can get your hands on E, you rock with E. It's all about being commonsensical, being sensible. Commonsensible and commonsensical. That's what it's about. Life is already complex enough. Too complex. It's already there. So you want to make life as easy as possible. Because if you don't do that, by default, you're going to get the complexities of life. You're going to get the complexities. You can juice the carrots, or you can eat the actual carrot. Carrots are loaded in beta-carotene, which are great for the eyes. It's ocular medicine, if you will, and ocular nutrition. Next up is calendula. A lot of people, they pronounce it or call it calendula. It looks, when you look at it, it looks like calendula, but it's actually calendula, also known as marigold, which was one of my favorite flowers. Actually, it was my favorite flower growing up. I remember doing an experiment in elementary school. I attended 107th Street Elementary School in South Central Los Angeles. And I'll never forget that experiment we did with the flowers. And my flower was marigold, also known as calendula. A beautiful flower, rich in carotene as well. And there is a substance called lutein. Some people pronounce it lutein, which is an ocular nutrient. It's an ocular nutrient. It is good for the eyes. Bilberry, blueberry, carrots, calendula, marigold. Next up, chamomile flower. Great for the eyes. You know, when you get off into herbalism and you deal with the medicinal herbs for the eyes, you tend to notice that most things good for the eyes, most herbs good for the eyes, just happen to be flowers. And it's true. It just happens to be flowers. Calendula, chamomile. And then next up, cyane, also known as cornflower. Another flower. Good for the eyes. Next up, we have red raspberry leaf. That's a very popular herb, a very well-known herb. A traditional female-specific herb, and rightfully and understandably so. Works wonder for the female system, the female sexual reproductive and hormonal system works wonders. You know, that is like the premier Western herb. The Eastern herb would be Cassia Fatima. For the West, it would be red raspberry leaf. And you can't go wrong mixing those two herbs together. However, I digress because this is about ocular health and I have to get ready and end this video here. So, blueberry, bilberry, carrot, calendula, cyane, also known as cornflower, red raspberry leaf. Next up, goldenseal root. Goldenseal root is pretty much good for everything. It has over 500 functions, just like garlic and marijuana. You can never go wrong with goldenseal root, hell, or even goldenseal leaf for that matter. It's a very therapeutic herb, a very medicinal herb. Goldenseal root is very helpful for the eyes. Next up, we have a fruit that is popular in Ayurveda, and that particular fruit is Amla, also known as Indian Gooseberry. Very good for the eyes and eye health or ocular health. Amla, A-M-L-A, also known as Indian Gooseberry. It is one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C available on the planet. It is in the top 5. Amla fruit, aka Indian Gooseberry, is one of the top 5 highest concentrations of vitamin C, which is also helpful for the eyes. Putting back on my lokes, no, my Pinhole readers, I jokingly call them my lokes. But the Ma'at-Ra don't gang bang. So, man, I've run off a few herbs that are available for ocular health. And most of these are accessible. They're commonly accessible. Even the Amla, which is Ayurvedic, you know, Ayurveda is pretty big in the Western world. You know, Ayurveda has made its dent, so you can come across Amla. It's not going to be easier to find than, say, carrot or chamomile, but nevertheless, it is available. And if you can get your hands on it, get your hands on it. The things I've named thus far, you get them in powdered form, you can mix them. You know, herbs are better when they're mixed. You know, it's you know how the saying goes, 2 heads are better than one? Well, it's the same way with herbs. You know, the more herbs you use, the better. They enhance each other. They enhance each other. Now, when we deal with ocular health, we have to deal with circulation. The eyes require circulation. So, cinnamon, ginger, and cayenne, also known as capsicum, are going to be very instrumental in maintaining, or for a lot of us, attain. We've lost it, so we have to attain. And once we attain, we have to maintain. So the 3 catalyst herbs, cayenne, cinnamon, and ginger, are very instrumental for eye health. And in particular, in the way of circulation. The eyes require circulation, good circulation. The best circulation is good circulation. I would be remiss if I didn't mention mullein leaf and mullein flower, another flower. Mullein flower. Mullein is one of the best, one of the most exceptional herbs for countering mucus, especially hardened, stubborn mucus. You ever experienced the little snot, the little yellowish phlegm substance, thick, gooey substance that secretes from the corner of the eyes, usually in the AM, the anti-meridium? A lot of us call it or refer to it as cat in the eye. It's mucus. It's mucus. So mullein leaf and mullein flower comes in handy to counter the mucus that secretes out of the eyes. When the body is loaded with mucus, the mucus is going to come out of the body through the various openings. The mucus will come out through the nose. You can spit it out. For some people, it even comes out through the ears. I met a guy who he had mucus coming out of his ears, man. All the dude ate almost daily was pasta. And I was like, dude, it's acid forming. You're creating mucus. Your belly is full of mucus. I put him on a mucus cleanse, and the dude told me, he came back about a month later, and he told me about the mucus that was coming out of his ear. And during the cleanse, it stopped. It came out through other channels. But he had mucus coming out of his ears. And when he started the cleanse, more came out, but it eventually subsided. And he defecated it out, and it came out through the nostrils and the mouth. But that was crazy. A Russian guy, I'll never forget that dude. In my early years, early 2000s, Russian dude came to me because the mucus was coming out of his ears. And I had never heard of that. I had never met anybody, that experienced that. I thought that was pretty wild. That's where mullein comes into play. Mullein leaf and mullein flower, one of the best herbs to counter mucus, hardened, stubborn mucus. So you want to add that to the list. And because I have to end this video in less than 4 minutes, you can go to the website, JehutiMa'at-Ra.com. Go to iFormula, scroll to the bottom where it says ingredients, and read the list of ingredients. Because every ingredient that you read is good for the eyes, which is why it's in the iFormula. And if you're going to concoct your own herbal formulation, you know which herbs to use. You now know which herbs are good or therapeutic for the eyes or ocular health. Now you get them in powder form. Some you can even powder if it's cut and sifted, or in whole form, you can powder it down. Get you a nice fine powder, and you can encapsulate and consume daily. If you take a herbal eye formula, and down it with 4 ounces of blueberry juice, maybe later on in the day, do 8 ounces of carrot juice. That's a serious ocular therapy that your eyes are going to greatly benefit from, guaranteed. And you can always tell because the body, the body responds to what you do. The body is a sensor, and the body lets you know what's going on. So when you're consuming your herbal eye formula and drinking your blueberry juice and your carrot juice, and you're working your tools, your pinhole readers, and your anti-blue glasses, and you're working with you're working with the full spectrum light bulbs, and then there are eye exercises. You can look those up online, eye exercises to help strengthen the eyes, and you're going to get results. You're going to get results. If you're reading in the dark, turn on a light and install a full spectrum light bulb. And remember, it's not good to use devices or even expose the eyes to light shortly before bedtime. Not good at all. It's best to be in darkness. It's best to be in darkness. When we're in darkness, our body responds to that. And the serotonin shuts down, and then the melatonin takes over. And melatonin is not just the pro-sleep hormone, it is the anti-aging hormone. There's a reason why the whole Dracula story deals with a guy who is melanated and who's 1,000 years old, but he looks very young. Sleeps in the daytime in a coffin because it's dark, so the melatonin can be secreted. So this dude got melatonin secreted in the daytime due to his dark coffin. Then he comes out at night, more melatonin is going to be produced, and he has an aversion to light. aversion to light. There's a lot of mystical knowledge in the story of Dracula or Count Dracula. The aversion to light, coming out in the dark, in the darkness. There's a lot to that. Very, very, very deep lore. I love it. I absolutely love it. But be very cautious of the light, especially at nighttime. Be very careful of light, man-made light, wreaking havoc on humanity. Beware of your man-made light. It's not natural. That's why the sun disappears. That's why it's nighttime. You don't see the sun. You know, you may see a reflection of the sun in the moon, but it's dark for a reason. And we're supposed to be in tune with that. But man has come along and made these synthetic lights so we can go to the late night show, late night movies, the midnight show. We can go to the club, the disco club, the booty club, or what have you. You know, synthetic man-made lights. They play a role in harming our health in general, ocular health in particular. Well, I've actually gone over my time, only about like a minute. But at any rate, I do have to wrap this video up. Yeah, of course, there's more I could add, but I want to be respectful. Actually, I have to be respectful of the time. The days of those 3, 4, 5-hour videos are over. Even on the Mighty Networks, my private platform, you know, I have to stop the videos at 1 hour. So sometimes I'll do a part 1 or part 2 or part 3. And it's just time management, you know, that's all it is. Again, you can go to the website, DjehutyMa'at-Ra.com, go to iFormula and read the ingredients and research the ingredients. Research the ingredients. They're all good for ocular health. Ocular health is very important, especially in this age that we're in. We're in the electronic age, man. We're in the digital age, man. And, you know, I don't know what to say about our youth who are addicted to these devices, you know. And I can only imagine what the ramifications are going to be in the future, you know, for this generation born into the smart, so-called smart devices. The age of digital technology. It's left brain created. It's left brain oriented, left brain created. So the damage is most definitely there. And just a matter of time, you know, before more comes out about the damage done to human health in general, as far as these so-called smart devices are concerned. It's, you know, a part of life now. Computers, we're working from computers, or working on computers. You know, when we were shut down for 2.5 years, you know, there was a lot of Zooming going on. It was all computers, all tablets, all smartphones. Excessive exposure to radiation, harmful radiation. I have to do a video on that, how to counter the adverse effects of radiation. But with that, people, on behalf of DjehutyMa'at-Ra, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for having on your thinking caps. And for those who are actually going to apply the information, I most definitely thank you. Man, so much to say, man. So much to say. I appreciate everybody here. Spread the word. The Ma'at-Ra is back. And be honest with them. Be honest. You know, I'm not back in a general sense talking about a whole bunch of stuff as I did in the past. I'm back, but in the realm or the field of health. Natural health, alternative health, but health. Alrighty. Under 50 minutes. Not bad. Went over about 5 minutes, but hey. I'm Djehuty Ma'at-Ra. I'm known for that. Peace and love.